Our first stop is upstate New York, New Hartford, where Pat and Carolyn Buckley built their home more than 20 years ago. But they left something out, the front walk. Hey, Carolyn. How are you, Pat?
Hi, Ron. Nice to meet you.
What a lovely house.
Oh,
This
thank you.
maple tree here,
Thank
too.
you.
So why don't you show me what we're going to be doing today?
Well, I'd like to put a stone walkway in that would extend from the stairs here, go right out to the new driveway we put in.
In order to make the new walk level, we'll have to dig out a considerable amount of dirt
Sounds good. Yeah.
and build a retaining wall.
Okay.
Pat plans to use 6x6 pressure-treated lumber for this.
Well, what we like to do is use some concrete that we can actually do a mold of like a stone pathway going right from the deck or the stairs here right to the new blacktop.
So concrete, but looks like stone.
Looks like stone.
You know what I'm going to suggest is that we take your garden hose right here, and we use this as kind of just a layout template. It's very flexible. We can kind of adjust this however we want it. So why don't you guys play with this a little bit, see what you like for a curve. I want to just sort of walk this now. I want to see if it feels comfortable to me. You know, part of this is the way it looks, and part of it is just the way it feels when you walk around it. You don't want it too tight. I like this.
About 45.
We plan to make our walk the
right
same
there. This
width
one
as
looks
the
nice.
staircase, 45 inches.
Check that
And
again.
we'll allow
6x6
another
inches
7
is
inches
inside
for the width of the
about
retaining wall. That'll make the total width of the area we'll have to dig 52 inches.
Good.
Having figured this out, we lay out the position of the walk using stakes and string. Then it's time to dig.
Great. Okay, we've got this outline now with stakes and strings. I think it's time to take a spade, a garden spade here, and Pat, if you could just go along here and just kind of break this through the sod like this. And Carolyn, why don't you go ahead and pick up the hose and these stakes right here.
Okay.
We'll remove the sod carefully because we'll reuse it after we're done to fill the inside curve of the walk.
How long have you had the house here?
For about 21 years, Ron.
So you moved in when it was new?
Actually, my dad built it for us, right from
Really?
the. Yep, my dad built it, and my brother did the mason work.
No kidding. So this was
Yeah.
really a family project from the start.
Yeah.
We got a lot of dirt to move here, but it's loose, and the pick is making it loosen up even more quickly. All right, guys, we've done a good job of getting this flat and squaring our ends off here. Now the next job is going to be to put in something that'll make the bottom even flatter.
After putting down about 3 inches of sand, we'll rake it out nice and level. In addition to making a good stable base for the concrete, the sand will also help with drainage.
Now this is the pressure-treated 6x6 we're going to use to create a retaining wall here.
After our sand base is level, we'll start to assemble the retaining wall. Because pressure-treated lumber is so dense, we'll need to drill pilot holes in order to drive the spikes that we're using to secure the wall together.
Down there. Okay, just shove it down to me. Good. Alrighty. We've got our sand nice and smooth here. So, Pat, if you'd hand me the form, I'm going to set this in place right here. There we go. All right. Now,
We're going to build a slight slope into the walk,
retaining wall
away from the retaining
out to the
wall.
driveway. That's good.
This will allow water to run off the walk
Down here.
towards the driveway,
Press this in a little bit more.
preventing puddles from forming.
Good. Okay, let's mix up some concrete. Now we're going to use a fiber reinforced concrete today. That'll make everything a lot stronger. So you've cut this open on the bottom, Pat. Why don't you go ahead and dump that in there. You had asked if we could make these a color, right? Something that maybe would go with your steps up there. So this is a cement color right here. Carolyn, if you just go ahead and pour that in this water.
Want me to pour the whole thing
Pour the
in?
whole thing in there, right? Okay, Caroline, give that a little bit of a stir there.
Okay.
All right, and then, Pat, if you take the water now, or the colored water, and pour that right in here, I'll do some mixing. Save a little bit of it, just reserve a little bit of it. In case you get it, that's good. In case you get it. Mortar's mixed, now we're just going to shovel this in. I'll give you some right here, Pat. Okay, just take a trowel now and just push that down in there. Carolyn, here's one for you. Force it down in. We want to get this all the way into the into each opening. And I'll keep shoveling this here. You guys keep smoothing it out. Good. Remember, down, sort of downward pressure first, and then we'll kind of smooth off the tops. There you go. Well, let's see what we've got here. I'm going to tap the form just to sort of break this loose a little bit. You know, the idea is to lift this up as straight as possible. Okay, it's be a little tricky because we can't get a hold of that rear corner. As soon as you can get on there, Carolyn, and get a grip on that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and there is our first set of stones. Not bad, huh?
Looks good.
In order to add an interesting texture to the tops of the stones, we'll dab the wet concrete with a damp sponge. We'll also use our fingers to shape the edges of the stones to a slight bevel. Well, let's do the second one, okay? Pat, grab the form. Now we want to rotate this 90 degrees so that we stagger the pattern. There you go. And that interlocks just like that. Using the concrete
Shove it
form,
down just
we
a little
work
bit.
our way down the
Okay, let me
inside
start
of the
putting
wall.
some of this in. Okay, guys. There are a couple of ways to deal with curves or turns in the walk like we have right here. One is to use a small form like this. The other is to pour individual stones, say on a piece of plywood, and then actually cut them to the shape you need and lay them in place.
Sound on this?
After the inside is finished, we repeat the procedure for the driveway side.
Okay, there we go.
In order to fill the odd spaces in the turns, I cut the form into a smaller shape. In other cases, we hand shape the wet concrete into stones after pouring it into place.
Whew, almost finished. Just a couple more things to do. In a little while, when this is hard but still damp, I'd like you to put a concrete cure and seal on here. You can put it on with a garden sprayer or even brush it. That'll make the surface a lot tougher. And then tomorrow, put some more sand on here and then brush into the cracks in between and then brush off the excess. But I think this turned out great. I really do. I really, really like this. You know, for me, what it does is it connects your steps here to the driveway. It's so friendly. It's just like, now come on in and pay us a visit. You know what I mean?
Yep, we like it. We like it a lot.
Thank you, Ron.
Congratulations,
Thank
guys.
you.